All right, so I watched the first episode of the Purge television series. Now let's get into it. This episode has Hannah Emily Anderson in it, which she was literally in a movie I watched right before I started this episode called What Keeps You Alive. I will be doing a review of that here in a minute, right after I finish this, so back to back as well. And she was also in Jigsaw. She played Eleanor. I like her. I like her as an actress. She's a very beautiful woman, and I think she's been very good in everything I've seen her in so far, including this. We also have Fiona Dourif in this, who plays the lunatic cult leader here of the good something, the good to some shit. Who knows? I'll probably have that beat into my head by the next couple episodes. What the hell their little cult is called. Anyway, so let's get into the episode. Now, we start off with Miguel, and he's being set up to be our hero. He's a Marine who's coming back because his sister sent him this letter saying that she is going to be with their parents who died on a purge night previously. She wants to be with them on their anniversary, so she's going to die, commit suicide, something he does not know. So he's coming, he finds this rehab center that she was checked into last, and you can see them boarding themselves up because they're not exempt from the laws of the purge like hospitals are. He gets the information, and off he goes to find Henry, who checked her out. Then we move over to the cult itself that she is in, which I can't remember who comes first. I think they might come into this first. Doesn't really matter. But the cult here that Fiona runs, we have Penelope here, and she has given herself to this cult, which we find out throughout this, which I like in every Purge movie or every Purge television series now, and every form of the Purge, they bring in new ideas that I had never thought of before with what people would do with this night. There's so many different ways that this night would be taken by so many different people. And someone forming basically a religion around it is about, it's funny that I never thought of that. At least I don't think I ever thought of that. But it makes possibly the most sense. Like, people fall for, like, lost kids and lost people in general fall for these Jonestown-like cults. I mean, I'm not going to get into my personal opinions about religion as a whole, so we'll just save that. But focusing on smaller cults, people fall into these things so easily, and the fact that the Purge is sanctioned by the U.S. government, that this is a traditional holiday for the country, absolutely. I mean, something like Jonestown would be legal on the Purge night. So if you went out and you took a bunch of people to convince themselves to kill themselves for your cause that night, you could do that and not be prosecuted after it's over, which I never contemplate. But yes, like, these people want to go out and be the purgees, so they can be the flesh for people to purge themselves on, basically, essentially martyrs, and that this will give them a ticket to heaven, which, I mean, a heaven of sorts. I guess it's their version of it. But as far as I am aware, in most religions, like Christianity and whatnot, if you're murdered, you kind of get a free ticket into heaven, right? So if you were to go out on Purge night as a believer, you would get a free ticket. But I guess that would kind of be considered suicide, knowing that you're going out. So I don't know. Religion's fucking wacky to me. But yeah, just this whole idea of this cult going out and letting themselves be killed one by one, too, at the end, when they let them out of the bus one by one. There's people just sitting there waiting for them. And this kid, he reacts to them with instant, like, fear and regret. But he, like, toughens it out, and he believes in his bullshit cause. And he sits there and he just takes it. He just lets these guys fucking axe him to death. That is just, but I mean, when you watch it in fiction, it's like, oh my God, that's insane. That's ridiculous. This shit would happen. This shit would happen. It happens right now without the purge. We have people doing this kind of shit. Anyway, look at Jonestown. Look at... People are fucking crazy, man. Not all people, but some people are fucking crazy. Anyways, all right. That was the most interesting thing about this episode. Overall, I liked the episode. There's some things in it that are just kind of silly here and there. Nothing too crazy. But overall, I'm enjoying it. Okay, but let's stick on track here. Let's talk about, we got Jane, and Jane is, she has a mother who's sick in the hospital, and she has to work on Purge night. And so Jane goes to her building, and I think she's on the 38th floor. And so she signs a waiver, as well as everyone else who is on floor 38, and they have a bunch of guards and whatnot. And they have to sign a waiver saying that they will not commit any violence or acts of anything illegal, because they have basically signed something to say that if they do anything illegal on level 38, they will be prosecuted. They are not exempt from the purge. And so while she's in this meeting with this guy, we get to see William Baldwin, which I haven't seen him in a while. Something's going on between them and he's always watching her, whatever. So she has this person who is texting her like, I'm down below. She goes to let her out, and then the bodyguards are like, once you leave this level, I can't do it. We can't guarantee you safety. So she goes down there and she meets this chick at the door, and the chick doesn't even want to come in the building or arrange a deal or whatever until the purge has commenced. So they're setting up something illegal, obviously. Now, what that could be, my first guess, and the first thing that came to my mind, and I feel is probably the most obvious, is that, not obvious, should I say, but to me, I suppose, is that she is some kind of cyber hacker. Like, that is that redundant? A hacker, I guess. A cyber hacker. What else kind of hacker can you be? I don't know. Anyway, I guess you could be a computer. I don't know. Okay, I'm not a fucking tech person. That's probably redundant. Anyway, but I think, yeah, she is hiring her to come in there to do something to steal money from this company, because she's not allowed to do anything on level 38. Now, that's where things start to get interesting as far as the laws and the politics of all of this. Like, she signed a waiver to not do anything on level 38. But does that mean she can just leave that room and go downstairs to level 37 and kill people and then come right back up, and then she can't do anything on that level? So could she go down to level 37 and fire a gun through the floor and kill people on 38 and still get away with it? Is she not allowed to hurt anyone on 38? Did she hire this girl to come in and kill people on 38 because she's not... It's one chick, and I'm not trying to say she's a chick so she can't do anything, but it's, even a guy wouldn't matter. One person is not going to be able to come in there and kill a bunch of people. Now, she might have 20 people outside. Who knows? She doesn't give her a ton of money, though. I mean, she looks like she gives her maybe at best $5,000. 10 grand? I don't think so, though. It looked like not a lot of money. Like $5,000 is what it looked like. Just kind of the way it's stacked, and it was only one little envelope. So I can't imagine she's splitting that with 10 other mercenaries or something. So I don't feel like it's going to be a full assault on Precinct 38. But I'm thinking she's bringing her in there to hack into something to steal the money. Something with the company. Because as I said, I think like her coming in and killing a bunch of colleagues so that she doesn't have to work for a position. She's already at the top level. She's just like one under the main dude, from what I can tell. So I don't feel like it's a competitive thing where she's coming in to kill people. I have to believe. Anyways, okay, I'm not going to continue to keep being redundant since I already was. Well, let's see, what else are we going to talk about? Okay, so Jenna and Rick are a married couple. Hannah Anderson plays the wife here. And they're going to this party, and they want some money, endorsements. And when they get there, well, even before they get there, I'm still remembering these people's names. Jenna, I have them written down here. Is having these flashes of this woman that her and her husband had a threesome with. And she's just like, don't worry, she's not going to be there. I don't know why it went so wrong. I mean, they seem like when we see the flash of them committing themselves to this threesome, they all seem to be very into it. In fact, it seems to be Jenna that's more into it than Rick, which I find suspect, but I think he just loves his wife and he's looking at her like, are you sure this is okay, like that we do this? Which is kind of how a lot of guys would take that, like, and then eventually they'd be like, all right, I'll do it, fuck yeah, why not? Not all guys, obviously, but most. But yeah, what went wrong there? Why they're so, against seeing her? They're like, oh, she's still in Africa or something. I don't know. We don't know that yet. Something obviously went seriously wrong after, because it can't just be jealousy or like, oh my God, what if she seduced us that night? Who cares? Like, we all had sex. Get over it. You're adults. Move past it. I don't think it's something like that. It has to be something much more substantial for them to be freaking out the fact that she's there when they see her. Like, oh no, there's that bitch. But it could be something as petty as, we had a threesome, now we regret it, it's hurt our marriage, and we don't want to run into her. I hope that's not it, because that's silly to me. I mean, as I said, you're fucking adults. Grow up. Like, you had a threesome. They're fun. They're super fun. And it looked like they were having fun. So, I don't know. Let's see. Let's pass through these. No. Yeah. So Miguel gets to this place. He finally finds, because he frees this girl from these guys who are going to probably rape her, which rape hasn't really been a thing in the Purge movies at all. Surprisingly, because I feel like there's a lot of guys that would be their go-to. I think that would be like a big thing that would be happening on Purge night. Like this girl, we get some of it. We get it in Anarchy, when that guy breaks into the mom and the daughter's apartment, and he's like, you've ignored me long enough. Tonight I'm going to have my way with you, whatever. So we do play into it a little bit. I don't know if anyone's been raped in the Purge franchise so far. Not that I can remember. I don't remember anyone ever actually getting raped. But correct me if I'm wrong on that. I can't remember anyone getting raped, but it might just be slipping my mind. But this girl tied up, and he lets her go because he's our hero, right? He's our Frank Grillo of this show. And then she tells him like where to find his sister. So he goes to this place and he finds that she's part of this cult. And these kids come downstairs and they tell him what's going on, and they say, oh, we're not old enough yet. We're not old enough to be murdered yet. You can convince kids of fucking anything. So when it's kids, I'm never that blown away. But when adults can be led into this nonsense, it's wild to me. Let's see. I think, the masks that the guys that they're wearing when they kill the kid that comes out of the bus, very, very strangers. Very, very strangers. Man, the gun companies and the gun makers must make a fucking fortune on these nights. They showed on the TV that they're sold out on everything. So it's probably advocated by the NRA. And then, another really cool part. Okay, I forgot about this. When Jenna and Rick are at this party, they are against the Purge, and they are against the New Founding Fathers of America, the NFFA. And so they're really just there to get their contributions, to get their whatever. And so they think this is all just going to go fine and well, which of course it isn't. and these guys start passing out. We get some confrontation between the main chick who's running that party and one of the maids or helpers or whatever the hell you want to call these the people that are there. This woman. What that will play into? She seemed to be very weird about everything. I think she knows what's about to happen to all these people. She's kind of in on it. But the whole mask thing was really interesting as well, because they make them put on all these masks that they hand out, and every one of them is the face of a known serial killer. We see Sam Sweet, I saw Jeffrey Dahmer, I saw all sorts of people. One of the Manson family chicks. And they talk about how these guys were purgers before purging was legal. Like, murderers were just purgers before this was a recognized act. So they were just doing what a human should do. This is natural, and that they risked their freedom to do what we would all eventually come to realize is the natural order of things. Like, we have this inside of us that we want to murder, that this is something we repress, and that these people were pioneers of their times. These murderers, these Ed Geins and Ted Bundys and whatnot. They're revolutionists. They're these guys who were ahead of the curve. They were ahead of their time. That they murdered, when it was illegal, when they would be put to death penalty or prosecuted and put away for life or whatever. Wow, that really took a whole new spin on it as well. And I think that in this world where people truly believed in the purge, they would believe that absolutely. Like, these guys were just purging, and screw us for persecuting them. They were just ahead of their time. That's fucked up. So the cult aspect and these saints of purging before the purge existed are two fucking wild concepts that I absolutely believe, if something like this happened, would exist. So those two things alone for me really made me interested in this show, because they're two proponents that I had not considered previously, and I like where it takes my mind. I don't like that I believe that it would probably be real if this actually was a thing. So anyways, if you guys have seen this episode, I hope you have, but let me know what you guys thought about this. I know a lot of people are hating on it. A lot of people love to hate on the purge. A lot of that has to do with political views and whatnot, what they think of the creator of this. And I try I don't care about any of that stuff. I just go for entertainment, catharsis, and having a good time. So overall, I enjoyed it. I look forward to the next episode. I want to see what's going to happen with Miguel and his sister Penelope, how she's going to get herself out of this. I'd like to see more from Fiona Dourif here, because I love her from the last two Child's Play movies that she was in. And I look forward to seeing what happens at that party. I want to know what the fuck is going on with Jane and this chick below. So lots of things that I definitely want to see answered. So I'm intrigued, and I hope you guys are too. But yeah, if not, let me know, and I will report back next week. I think I'm like a day before, like September 4th. Yes, it's 5th. So yesterday. So we got 6 days. All right, I'll see you then.